So firstly, we'll make a slip knot. And then we'll do a few chain stitches according to the phone. Now once you've made a few, just put it on the phone and check if it fits. I think this is perfect, so I'll just make 2 extra chains. And then I'll start with the HTC, so you can skip one chain and then you can start with it. Now what I do with this extra thread is I include it in my stitches, so I'll just put it right there and do HTC with it. So then I don't have to worry about it later. I'll just include it like this. So this you can do it in a lot of projects. Now once you're done with your last one, you just have to make a chain stitch, and that extra thread that we had added, we'll just cut it so it becomes very clean. Now I'll do HTC again in all the stitches. So basically we'll have to do the same stitches from here till here. So now that we are done, and if you're ending here, just turn it around and start doing HTC again. But this time we'll just do it till this point. And if you feel the size is smaller, you can also stretch it out like that so that it fits. Now you'll start doing the HTC again, but this time keep checking, it should just reach the phone camera. So I think it's bigger. I'll just open it up, and now also I think it's a little bigger, so I'll open it up. Now this is the size we can go for. Now again from here to here we'll do the same stitches. Once you're done, we'll make some chain stitches from here to here. Now make sure that the chains are not too long because anyways it's going to stretch, so keep it smaller, a little smaller. Now we are going to do a slip stitch and then we are done with it. Now our base is ready, but to give it a more cleaner look, I'll do single crochet throughout this area. And you can also skip this part, but I like doing it because it makes it more cleaner and it's easier to work on it later on. So it's going to be a bit uneven, but when you do this part with single stitches, it's going to make it very clean and it's going to help you do your last part of the phone. So you have to keep doing it from here till this point. Once you're done with it, just make the thread a bit longer. You don't have to tie a knot yet. And then we are going to stretch the shape out and make it a proper shape. And then we are going to stick it on the phone at this point. We'll not do it after we are done with the whole phone. We'll do it at this point. So now apply the glue in the 1/3 part. Now we are going to stick this part only and then gradually we'll apply the glue under and then we'll spread the cover and stick it properly. So just hold this part for a few minutes so that it gets stuck properly. Now start applying the glue underneath and you can just fill up this whole area now. So just try to stretch the phone cover a little so that it fits properly like that. And then now just keep pressing on top for a few minutes like this. It's okay if it's coming a little upwards like this, and it's okay if you don't stick the edges properly for now. We'll do that later. So this part I'm showing if in case you want to use a different color. I'll be using maroon, but I'm showing it if in case from here you want to change the color to something else. So just cut the thread like this. Now in the outer loop you take the thread and you start making two chains like this. Now in the next one also we'll do double crochets. So you just include this small thread when you're doing your stitches. And if you see, I'm doing the stitches in the outer loop of the cover. Now just keep doing it till the button part. It would be a little tough to do this area and it might come off, but that's not a problem. We'll stick it later as well. Now just make one chain and do slip stitch in the next stitch. Now in all of this button area, we'll just do slip stitches. Now again we'll add one chain and start doing double crochets in the next stitches. Now again in this part we have to leave some space, so again we'll do one chain stitch and slip stitches in this whole area, and then again you have to repeat the same. So just do the slip stitches wherever there's some area that has to be left open. Now just complete the same thing till here. And again this area of buttons you have to repeat the same pattern. And once you've reached the end, just do a slip stitch and end this part. And even now there's some space left, so I'll do single crochets throughout. Now in the button area, just add some chain stitches, and to connect both the sides, just do a slip stitch. Now again keep repeating the single crochets throughout. And again in the button area, just do chain stitch and a slip stitch at the end to connect both the sides. Now again at the end you have to do a slip stitch to end it. And this is how I tie a knot. So I'll just take it around and pull the yarn. Now cut this much thread and we'll just stitch it at the end, so you can leave it like that. Now we are going to stick these areas as well. So now there's a tip for you. So you have to take the extra yarn and you have to take the case and you have to wrap it around first vertically and then horizontally. Now just leave it to dry. Now take the color of your choice. We'll do a slip knot. Now I'll be making about 100 chain stitches. Once you're done, leave one chain and start doing HTC throughout the chain stitches. Now again in this part, I'll include this extra yarn inside my stitches only. You can also leave it for later, but I like to include it with my stitches. Once you're done with your last one, do a chain stitch and turn this around, and again we'll do HTC. But now we'll do the HTC in the outer stitch, this one. And you have to repeat this pattern throughout till 5 to 6 lines, however thick you want your bow to be. So I have made about 5 lines of this, and now it's time to just sew it up, the last yarn which was left. Now it's time to create a bow shape, so this is how I do it. And once you've reached here, just scrunch it up and give it a bow like shape. Now take some yarn and very tightly just wrap it around this area very tightly. Now tie it tightly from the back. Now if you want to leave it like that you can, but I like to add this part. So you just have to make a slip knot and do a few chain stitches. Now just check if it's covering the front part or not. So I'll just make 2-3 more. And I think now it's good to go. Now just adding one chain stitch and I'll do HTC again in this part. Once you're done, tie a knot. And we are going to sew this part up on the bow like this. Now if you wish to just stick it, you can stick it as well, but I like to sew it up so it lasts longer. And I'll also apply some glue here and the other side of the bow so that it stays in place. So now with the extra thread that we had left, I'm just going to sew it up randomly. So you just have to take it inside, tie a knot and then cut the extra yarn. And now we're done with it and your bow cover is ready.